We're here to talk about Joseph Budden. All right, Joe Budden, the Joe Budden podcast. Now, we recently found out that apparently, if there is an OVO Fest that does happen, around the time the OVO Fest does happen, apparently Future will be doing a show and he has a tour stop in Toronto around that time. And with this alleged beef going on, and yes, it's still Drake conclusion. We getting the videos out, man. I'm getting the content out. Fuck it. But with this happening, a lot of people saying it might be some sabotage shit. You're doing it on purpose. You know what it is. You know when OVO Fest is. I'm pretty sure Future probably might have performed at OVO Fest, and this is happening. And honestly, at this point, side note, with Drake doing OVO Fest and all this shit, Drake might as well just tell, hey, I don't know why. Just make Rolling Loud Toronto if they bring that shit back. Just make it a part of the OVO weekend. Like, yo, fuck it, we gonna do Rolling Loud, we gonna do OVO Fest. Like, y'all gonna do some shit. Just make it a big ass weekend or fucking week. Make it a week. But anyways, with that being said, sorry about that. Real quick. Joe Budden thinks Future and Metro will sabotage OVO Fest. Now, see, at this point, I ain't gonna lie. That line, a Metro shut your ass up and play some drums inward, that shit knock his hell. That very disrespectful. And he hasn't really dissed Future. He had that one line about Future, but like, he hasn't really dissed him. People are alluding Future might have said some shit to him on the back-to-back record with Nardo Wick. I don't personally know, but we'll see what happens at this point. But with Joe theorizing this, I mean, it kind of does look cool. If I'm Drake, right? And I'm sitting here and, yeah, me and him ain't cool anymore, but I ain't really dissing him like that. But my man's, around the time I usually have my little festival weekend or whatever have you, my man's over here has a show planned. Me and his other man, Metro, we ain't really cool. I ain't fucking with Metro. So it kind of looks weird. Now, will he sabotage OVO Fest? I don't think so. Maybe, hey, just when they were scheduling the dates, it could have just been like, this is the day you're going to do Toronto. But it doesn't look like it was a coincidence. I will say that. And they did ponder this on the Joe Budden podcast. But let's read a little bit and see where they was thinking about. So, Joe Budden is always looking for an angle. He's been chronicling the feud between Drake, Future, and Metro Boomin on his podcast. And he thinks, and everybody, nigga, that gives a fuck about this shit is free content. I'm joking. But in general, like, bro, with some shit like this, bro, everybody gonna talk about it. He thinks that the next chess moves will be made on the road. The former rapper theorized that Future and Metro will purposely schedule their tour in an effort to ruin the attendance of Drake's upcoming OVO Fest in Toronto. And honestly, yo, listen, if they are relatively close to each other, the Future show and OVO Fest, you could probably do both. I'm not gonna lie. You probably do both. I'm not gonna lie. Is it both days? Like, is this he's doing one day, right? Anyways. He went as far as to say that the duo will enlist help of another Canadian superstar, The Weeknd, to drive the point home. As much as I do rock with The Weeknd, and The Weeknd has pull, I'm not going to say The Weeknd is not a popular artist and nobody would want to go see The Weeknd. I'm just looking at it from the aspect of, if we know it's OVO Weekend and we know we're going to get a great OVO Weekend performance, that weekend I'll fuck with you, gang. I'm going to go to the OVO Fest, you know what I'm saying? Especially if y'all doing one day, and majority of the time it coincides with Caravana weekend, so there's usually like 2-night like concert OVO events, and then there's some other shit that goes on, and of course Caravana and all that shit. Like, not gonna lie to you, like, gang, if y'all just doing one tour stop, I could go to your show and then the next day I could go to the Drake show. I'm not gonna lie to you, but hey, we'll see what the fuck happens. I don't know if they're doing 2 shows back to back. We don't know yet, and I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to go to the Future show. So I ain't gonna lie, but OVO week, like, you know what I'm saying? I might pop out one time. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways. But I didn't notice that Future and Metro's Toronto date may line up with the same weekend as OVO Fest. If true, he's confident Drake will push the date back. If the weekend comes out on that Future tour stop, he noted, I have a feeling Drake moving that weekend. He's moving the weekend. The rest of the podcast panel hated Joe's theory. Regardless, he stood his ground. This wouldn't be the first time he moved OVO weekend, he added. I don't think there's any shame in that when you spend as much money and as much manpower to put this weekend together. Okay. Joe then insisted that The Weeknd was a key artist in this game of concert chicken. He believes if the Starboy singer shows up to the Future show, it will take the wind out of Drake's sails. His rationale is that Weeknd is a bigger artist. I would think that the second day of OVO Fest has a greater turnout the day there is not a Future show. Facts. He positioned, because that's a weekend that's the whole weekend. The feud between these artists is not letting up. Firstly, okay, y'all gonna retell it. If y'all don't know, basically, Future had the album We Don't Trust You, and We Still Don't Trust You anyways. On the first iteration of the Don't Trust You series, he had a song like that with Kendrick Lamar, yada, yada, yada. Kendrick threw his shots at Drake and J. Cole. J. Cole gracefully bowed out and humiliated himself in the process, but he can get back to it, you know what I'm saying, in our good graces if he goes against Kanye, because Kanye was talking shit about you in that remix. Anyways, so Drake out here did push-ups, basically said everything about everybody, but mostly aimed at Kendrick. He came out with tailor-made freestyle, talked to shit, went at Kendrick again. At this point, it doesn't look like Kendrick is gonna reply. Imagine this nigga Kendrick is in Tulum, just vibing in Tulum. Still hasn't heard the diss track. Baby came in a boat, rowing to the nigga like, nigga, did you hear this? Imagine, bro. Anyways, with that being said, Kendrick, I don't know what the fuck that nigga doing. Anyways, they've been going on. Rick Ross tried to hop into it, but Drake at this point is focused on the main event, which is him going against Kendrick and this little diss war nonsense. With that being said, we'll see what happens. And like, listen, Metro, as much as I focus, Metro, you might just have to start rapping at this point. Like, Future, your mans, I get it. You be dissing niggas on beats, but at this point, nigga, rap at this fucking point. Do your DJ Khaled and just talk over the beat and just be menacing as hell at this point, bro. Because one nigga can rap and one nigga make beats. It don't hit the same. It don't. But anyways, what was I reading? Yeah, we can also diss him on All To Myself. Future also guested on Nardo Back to Back, which saw him mock Drake using his own song title. I don't think he was mocking him, though. Do you really think that was a mock? Yeah, that's a reach to me. I think that's a fucking reach. It's safe to assume these artists will perform their diss records into it. Yeah, Drake will. If Drake does decide to move forward with OVO Fest the same weekend, however, fans will be forced to pick sides. Things could get messy, to use Joe Budden's own words. Let's see. Is it really? Nigga, what sides fans is picking? Listen, we here for the fuckery. We here to be entertained. We here for the bullshit. Let's keep it a book. We want to get entertained. We want to be lit. What fans is really picking? Now, some fans are. Those are stans. They on some bullshit. There's some other niggas. I still fuck with Future. I don't give a fuck what beef Drake got with. Nigga, Future gave me too much music. Future set too many vibes for me to not stop listening to Future. I'm sorry. That's number one. And number two, Aubrey, hey, listen. You didn't even diss Future like that. Unless you have some other shit in the tuck for him after this whole little Kendrick fiasco is done. I don't know at this point. And at this point, bro, with how hard this nigga Drake is going, if allegedly this Kendrick shit, apparently he said, hey, he gonna deal with the rest of y'all that was dissing at another time. I would not be surprised if Drake has a project that could come out this year or early next year at this fucking point. Because, alright, this is a little different. We'll see, bro. As OVO Fest gets closer, we'll see exactly what happens with the situation. But for now, bro, we just gonna sit back and see exactly what happens. But yeah, man. Peace, love, and positivity. Let's see what happens. But we all know everybody does enjoy the fuckery, yeah, man. But besides that, what are y'all thoughts on it? Y'all agree with Joe Budden, or y'all think he's just reaching a little bit? But hey, we'll see. Would we be surprised? We seen the whole Pusha T situation if Drake allegedly bought like some tickets to the show for motherfuckers to do like throw some shit at Pusha T or whatever that situation was. Hey, we'll see. Imagine if somehow Metro and Future was performing, Drake like kind of switched the audio to play shit at his concert. Like imagine they were that close to each other. But besides that, it is what it is. We will see what happens. Hey. Comments down below, links in the description. Besides all that, your friendly neighborhood K.A. signing out for today. Shalom, Zoom, peace out, gang. Aye.